they've kept that spot for now.
Probably.
And of course, FlipSid not even in the top 10. They're somewhere around the 12 to 13 spot, I would say.
Yeah, with so much Counter-Strike nowadays, we're gonna have a lot of change in that. I think you have NIP, Fnatic, TSM, Envious, VP are probably the teams that are just battling it out, and then the rest are just going to be under that limit or that line.
Well, we'll see who's going to get the start. Well, okay, never mind. There's no contest. It's obviously VP who wins that knife round. 4 men still up. Pasha the only one to go down. His biceps too strong for a knife. He probably snapped the blade off when he went to swing it, so that's why he was out of it. But nonetheless, they'll get CT.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of T-sided cobblestones lately. Like we were watching last night, Fnatic put a... Actually, both teams were playing really good T-side on cobblestone, so it's going to be interesting. How does Virtus.pro approach the CT side? We saw both NIP and Fnatic while they were playing at A site. They were playing with 2 guys, and they were separated totally. They were putting a lot of pressure on each one of those guys, especially the guy who was either playing really pushed up on that side hall or the guy who was playing down in middle. And, you know, he's always going to be under enormous pressure if he's going to be facing a lot of people coming in with flashes and nades and so forth. So I'm just, you know, I'm just interested how are these guys doing with their A defense.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Virtus.pro actually pick this map against TSM because they had the map, the way that the veto system worked when they had the upper bracket advantage, when they came from the upper bracket, the winner's bracket, Copenhagen, they got to pick before they banned. So they got to pick the first map. They went straight for Cobble knowing TSM's not good on it. But still, it wasn't comfortable. TSM had a late comeback, made it 16-14. So it wasn't like it was a walk in the park per se still for VP. And, I mean, that's something to look at. When a team that's not as good on a map still gives them numbers. Yeah, I think TSM played excellent in that game. I think their individual skill was very strong. It does mean that a team like FlipSid have to look at that and look positively. And, again, it's their T side that makes all the difference. So we'll have to see how VP can hold up on their defense. And, again, we saw how different teams play it. Na'Vi, or pardon me, NIP last night looking for picks, whereas Fnatic all about the fakes.
Yeah, key pointers to look out here for FlipSid, I believe, are how is Simple going to play? And second of all, what kind of strategies has Blade come up with? Because he's one of those guys, together with Pronax, we were talking about this last night, who spends a lot of time just coming up with new ways of playing the game and new smokes and flashes, all these small tricks that make a difference. So just really looking forward to what kind of strats FlipSid is going to be putting up on the table as we're live here in the pistol round.
Well, we are underway, and already Simple's going to find the first. That's Snacks to go down, and the young man starting off strong. This gives FlipSid a bit of a chance to open up the map. Blade's going to fall back with the bomb, wants to join the raiding party on A, but Neo's the only one over there waiting. And Taz is close by on the windowsill at drop. Markelov's still above him, but Pasha and Bialy, so VP looking for the data early on, are going to push out this new B hall. They're all the way in behind Markelov, who's keeping Taz at bay, and Neo's slowly fading over, but they need to get this call because Pasha and Bialy that far up should mean that it's an obvious A, yet Neo's late on the retake. Pasha does at least find Markelov. That's your lurk, and Simple's already crossed. They're inside the site. Bomb is going to finally get there. Blade's going to look to put this down, and they're going to get up close. They're going to hold off the Preacher spot. Neo's going to come in through the vent. But there it is. Bomb planted. So it's going to play for the retake. Taz and Neo sit back. They wait for Pasha and Bialy to come out from long. There's Pasha's first shot. World gets caught off guard. They weren't ready for VP to be there quite so early, but Bondic does respond. Simple up close again. Another one on to Neo, and he's looked great in this pistol round, but they've got the man advantage now, has VP, although Bondic brings it back, and he's just got to play this one-on-one. Gets on top, and I don't think Pasha realizes he got up there so quickly, and he takes advantage of the position. Great kill. And FlipSid escaped the round. Only one up, but they get it.
Yep. That early information for Virtus.pro there, where they killed Markelov in B halls, seemed like a lot of advantage for Virtus.pro with the flank approaching as well with Pasha and whoever was with him. Seemed like what should have been a Virtus.pro round. It just was back and forth frags, and FlipSid and Bondic, I mean, coming out on top. 1-0, FlipSid, the kind of start they really wanted to have here.
Well, that's the perfect start because we said it's T-side for them that makes the difference. It always has been. So getting the pistol makes their job a lot easier, provided they don't get ecoed. Remember, Virtus.pro did lose every single pistol round in the upper bracket against TSM this past weekend, and it was their ecos that brought them back into the matches. Of course, 2-16-14 wins. Without those ecos, not possible.
They invested in flashes and a smoke instead of armors, actually. VP did, so they are probably looking forward to delay as much time as possible from FlipSid. So, and maybe stack one of the sides and hope to be guessing right. Seems like FlipSid is actually just trying to clean out areas and slowly trying to feel out where VP is playing right now.
And they have gone for 1 MAC-10. Markelov has that. So we'll see if he can use it.
Yep. Snacks here is looking for a pop flash for middle. They're trying to time it right. No information gained for him so far. No one was down there yet.
Pasha needs to be careful not to fade off.
FlipSid is taking a lot of time here. They're going to be putting a lot of pressure on themselves, pushing the bomb site.
I think they're going to commit to B. Bondix just grabbed the bomb. He is heading that direction. World Edit's going to open it up. Snacks does go down. That's your A kill. But they, like I say, and like you said, time with down, they can't really commit back. They have to go in on this A site, pardon me, on this B site, and they will. Bondic gets the kill. There's your AK, contributing well. And that's Pasha already out as well, so the shotgun doesn't do anything up close. And now they get this plant. The question is, how do Taz and Neo want to deal with the situation? I think they're going to just fall back and look for exits because they've got P250 and armor as well as a CZ75 for Taz.
Yeah. Pasha, he was the guy with the keys there to make a difference in this round, but he wasn't able to take that Nova and make the kills happen. So that was pretty much the main thing here in this round, and just good call from FlipSid. Even though they ran the clock down, they got the right feel on what Virtus.pro was doing. They pushed that B site, got the entry, and got the bomb down, and pretty clean round. A lot cleaner than it could have been, especially with as little time as they had left in that round.
Well, that was the big thing. Pasha up close with the shotgun. Could have been a threat when they walk inside B, but they got the entry frag as they need, and that made it a little bit more easy for them.
Yep, and the second save round here for Virtus.pro coming up. Seems like they're stacking that A side. They're pushed up, actually, so they're going to try an early pick and then bring up a bit of a confusion in FlipSid and hope for them to be doing a hasty decision later on this round.
And Simple's going to start it off by taking down B Alley. But FlipSide's still marching in this direction. Pop Flash does go out. Bondic tries to find his way in, but the counter smoke's well timed, so he won't push through it. That nade, though, so much damage. Lands directly on Snacks' feet, and he'll go down just as quickly. All three of them drop, and it's all left to Neo. 7 HP. And he just wants one. Please, sir, for Christmas, I want a single kill. But Simple is absolutely going to play the role of the Grinch. He'll come in behind, and now it's 3-0. And again, no kills coming out for VP.
Yeah.
But they will get rifles this time.
Very clean first, the second and third round for FlipSid. That's going to help them going further here, as they will have money even if they would lose this one here. So, always important first weapon round coming up here. Virtus.pro obviously are fully invested in this one. And they are going with 5 M4s, actually. No ops so far.
No op at all. This World Edit will use his against them. Again, early presence at B from VP.
Yeah, and Blade has pushed up all the way through that long hallway in B.
And he's already out past the connecting point. In fact, he's just using the smokes for cover. Throws a Molotov back toward the hut, but falls back immediately after. They'll have seen that come out. They know there's one up close. That pop flash will bounce, but look at the stack in the corner. Pasha just sitting on top of Bialy's head. Gets the first shot. Now they'll drop off and reconvene, reposition themselves if they try and rush upon that, but they're not. They're looking over toward A. Markelov's the only one lurking behind, still at B. Bomb is back down in the backside of the halls. But Snacks is going to drop. Now they'll rush it, but they aren't going back for the bomb. They have to. And the problem is, if Markelov's the one they're going to send for it, he's already surrounded because Pasha's in behind him. And with him firing away at the drop spot, they know he's there. It's easy to hear it. It's easy to get behind him. Pasha's going to catch out World Edit. And now it's just going to be a complete mop for VP because they've got the full map control. Although Markelov's fought his way out of it. He's dropped down. He's taken out Bialy. But unfortunately, it was World Edit that picked up the bomb. And with him dropping down, it's Pasha just to camp on top of it. They're getting the kills, but they don't have the bomb to work with. Bondic finally wants to go for it. Pasha's going to hear him coming because he walks in like an elephant. And VP holds strong.
Yeah, Pasha's aggression there just won the round single-handedly. He got the bomb control, and FlipSid were just way too spread out from each other. And Simple trying to recover that round, but just there wasn't no way. Pasha, that push and that boost and that early kill on Blade, I believe, one of the few contributing things, and putting Virtus.pro on the board here.
So Bondic now wants to run with World Edit. They've still got AKs, remember, because we did use a little bit of SMGs. We saw one come out for Markelov, but they've also established good money based on the number of bomb plants that they had, as well as those early wins. So World Edit gets the first. Bondic's going to get the second. This time they've got an opening because, again, VP fades off toward the B site, and both A players are down. Taz just now wants to come back around, hopping up the highway through the top side of the Sermon spot as he comes back through the vents. But Pasha's going to find Blade. That's your lurk. Bomb's still planted, though. It's on A. Markelov, Simple, Still waiting on the backside.
It's close to impossible or retake right now for Virtus.pro, really. FlipSid is all over the map. Bomb is down. 3 on 4. Their best bet right now is to save these weapons and force the next round.
And the smokes were strong, too, because it was just when Pasha arrived and looked like they might attempt the retake. They came out. They couldn't get in at all, so they'll fall off of it. Markelov is still looking for these exits. Because 2 M4s up, that's a worthy investment to take away from Virtus.pro right now. If they don't, they'll have to deal with a force buy because you'll naturally expect some SMGs to come out.
Yep, those early frags towards A. Once again, proving strong on the T side. I think we saw a lot of that from Fnatic as well on T side.
They actually lost Blade post round to the bomb, by the way.
Yep, that's a bit of a money wasted there. But they're still solid there, money-wise. All right. But yeah, just a great start from FlipSid here. They're getting a lot of the entries and just working it out so far.
Well, they've got 2 gun rounds now. Again, FlipSid, T side.
Now we see Virtus.pro is stacking the side hall. It seems like they're going to be having one here in this odd spot. Stacks it is with a UMP.
And we've seen, actually, Fnatic use this to their good effect many times.
Yep. Well, FlipSid taking a lot of time here. They're like, they've only spent half a minute without even taking any control of bottom, middle, or the side hall. So they're just spending a lot of time here, actually trying to bait out as much nades and smokes and flashes and Molotov from B early round. Blade seems to be the guy on the job all the time. And now they're just gonna smoke off here towards the drop room, and it's gonna be a B attack coming up here, and a lot of pressure on Pasha and Bialy.
Yeah, Pasha's going to have to hold strong. Taz has come around late to join them, and he's going to have to cover off drop, but with Pasha down, Bialy and Taz are going to be stuck inside the site. They've got 2 on either side. They've worked in well from FlipSid, and look at the shots coming out. World Edit nails Neo, as does Markelov onto Taz. Finally, Bondik does get Bialy, or pardon me, Bialy gets a kill, but Bondik gets him back, rather. As Snacks contributes with only 1 more, but he's the last left, and the bomb is down, so it's a 1-on-3 post plant. And I don't think he wants to stick around too much for that, or does he? He does get the first on World Edit. He may get more. They're still searching for him, but the more time that ticks away here, the more he'll just look for an exit kill and then run back, because he's only got 33 HP to work with. Well
executed there from FlipSid. Taking that drop room control just spelled a lot of trouble, as we see Blade taking out Snacks here. Just a well-executed strategy from FlipSid. They took over the drop room, and then that spelled a lot of trouble for Virtus.pro's defense, as they were surrounded by FlipSid there. And FlipSid looking really strong here on the first half, picking up 5-1 lead, meaning Virtus.pro is going to be on another save round here, and potentially we're looking at a 1-6 scoreline for FlipSid early on Cobblestone T side.
That's big. That's absolutely huge. This is a great start. VP looking a little bit slow and also back on pistols, and Simple's going to take advantage of it. Pasha drops, looking for more, does get it. It's Bialy to go next, and now he's going to continue around the corner. Backside of the box, still got one up close, and that flash caught him, so it's a hat trick for Simple already. Markelov going to catch a rotator. That Snacks to drop inside of the drop room. Will they get more? Yes, Neo almost had him. Down to 19 for Markelov, but still gets the kill in the end with the AK, and they'll get up to 6 now.
Yep.
And I said it, if we're going to go 3 maps, it has to be a Cobblestone win for FlipSid. They're doing the job early. Remember, we go to Inferno as map 3. That's actually, along with Cobble, FlipSid's best map, so there's still a chance for them, and this could be a bit awkward for VP if they don't wake up. They're going to have to play tonight. They can't just coast through this against FlipSid. They have to play to their top potential.
Yeah, and it's always hard when you're coming off of especially land victory. It's really hard to get your pace going right off the bat when you're going home and start playing these online matches again. Something people don't probably realize. It's very hard to come back and really get your game face going when you've just been to a LAN tournament. You've spent a lot of energy down there, so they're gonna have to pick it up here, unless otherwise it's gonna be a lot of trouble for them for sure. And now it's the first time we see Pasha on the op, and let's see if that makes any difference in Virtus.pro's defense. That's gonna counter what Blade was doing before. He's not gonna be able to just roam around in that B long haul.
Well, Snacks has pushed up. This time Taz is playing a bit of a different approach. He's already on A, hasn't joined over at B. Pasha's going to get your first kill. That's Simple to drop. Markelov's still waiting out, actually at the drop position, speaking of it. But Snacks, there's your information gained. Gets World Edit down, realizes they're lower, and Taz takes the opportunity to walk in behind as they're distracted. So easy kill, drops the bomb. Bondik now comes up, gets flashed off. What?
Wow.
Turns around, and he was just Pre-firing, that was a panic spray, and he absolutely tears Snacks' head off. A bit of luck going his way, and now he's going to check the bottom of the stairs. What a play coming out right now from Bondic. Finally, Taz euthanizes him, and Markelov is all that's left. He has found Bialy, but he's your lurk player. He's coming over all the way from B, and they're going to know exactly where he is, have lots of time to set up on him. He's going to try and use this smoke to his advantage. But again, bomb secured right now from VP.
Yep. I really like the Virtus.pro's change of pace there. They created a bit of a choke point there down in middle as they put a lot of faith in Pash's AWP skills on B. As we see Taz there taking up Markelov, 2-6 scoreline. Virtus.pro really need to string together this round here, otherwise they're going to be in a ton of trouble with money.
Look at this replay. Look at that. That is Hiko's inhuman reactions. Right? I mean, that is the exact situation. Just turning and nails him. Man, that was insane. But again, the round does go to VP, so we're up to 6-2. And they'll get the op out now for Pasha. That's big. Remember, this also was the round when they were starting to get money bonus going against them. It wasn't in full. It was only 3 rounds, but again, it's reset, so they're still quite fragile here on VP's side.
Yeah, they are, definitely. Should they lose this round, they would be in deep trouble when it comes to money. So they need to string together rounds because of that money bonus reset happening after winning that round. Again, we have Virtus.pro with 3 guys in towards B. Meanwhile, they have Stacks and Neo holding that A site, pushed up. Pasha with a huge kill there, early pick again. Once again, that's the second round in a row. He's getting the first pick.
Taz with counter flash on drop. Taz is the one that has to be strong right now for VP. He's playing in the spot that really dictates how the defense is played. We've seen him fade off toward A a few times, but there was that particular round when it was a 2-2 split on the B side. As Neo's going to get good kills here, actually gets 2. So this looks good for VP as Neo holds strong, but it's Taz that has to be aware of holding that drop a little bit tighter because when they had that 2-2 split, he fell inside the site and they caught him off for it.
Yeah,
this time he stays stationary and will get Blade in the end.
An important factor here also is that Virtus only lost 1 player in that round, so that's going to be very important going further with their bank. Still not looking that healthy, but should they be able to win more rounds with little casualties, that would be really good for their bank, and obviously they will need about 8 to 9 rounds here on the CT side, I believe.
And we're going to go double op.
Yep.
So because they won that round back-to-back, they don't have to get into the awkward economy situation. Again, still fragile because they had to buy out into this with 2 players in the op as well. But they've got 3 rounds now to their name.
There we go. Snacks, early pick.
So first op already working. He's going to get more. He's also found Markelov. Bondic does respond with the Tech 9, but Snacks isn't done. It's another one on his place, but Taz actually tags him up as he falls back. That makes it a little bit easier for Blade to get the shot. Taz at least cleans up, makes up for it, and recovers the op as well. So now it's going to be 6-4. 2 rounds the difference, and we'll keep those rifles out on either side. World Edit actually bought up the op for Simple this round as well.
And now the ball is on FlipSid's court. Since they know Virtus is playing with 2 ops, is that going to make a change in how FlipSid approaches their T side now? Are they going to pick up the pace? Nope, they're just going to get picked apart by Stacks here. Man. Early pick on up in middle.
He's playing huge right now with this op. Not often we see him pull it out quite so effectively, but Blade was inside the smoke. Bialy, no idea he was there, so easy kill for him. That evens it back up, and Neo's on 14. So VP do have the slight disadvantage. Taz has fallen off a drop spot to compensate for the gap over on the deep side of the B site. So we'll have to play passively if they try and come in that direction. Simple is slowly lurking back in that direction to join with Markelov. But so far, it's just Blade that's spotted up, and that nade's going to go in the fire as well. He's not going to get away from this. Surely he's going to burn alive. Doesn't even matter. Neo's going to get the shot when he tries to cross back. Flash will come out. Taz gets away from it somehow through the smoke. And World Edit tries to get up close with this op. Does hit it. Neo absolutely torn apart. He drops down, and now they're going to pinch the site. They've got to catch these shots immediately, and they do. Taz drops. Pasha as well, and Snacks has to play for the retake. Strong with the op in the last 2 rounds. Already won in this. Make it 2. World Edit annihilated on the cross. So one-on-one post plant. Simple's got the advantage, but they know exactly where each other are. But Simple gets away, uses that smoke to his own disguise, and he'll fall into the corner. He just has to limit the angle, keep the proximity, but he swapped over to the op.
Wow.
Snacks gets him. Huge from Snacks. That's a huge round. Back-to-back, 3 in both, 6 total in the last 2. And he's going to get this defuse, and VP get that much closer. And again, their economy's quite fragile, so this gives them another helping hand because FlipSid will have to go back on the save.
Yeah, the Simple's play early on in the one-on-one it was spot on. Smoking on flashing and jumping all the way back to the site. But then he started doubting himself, and that cost him the round in the end. But yeah, Stacks proving huge with that op, and he's getting a lot of early picks. He's going to be. I was going to point it out as well before this match. The Snacks and Pasha for me are the two players that I'm looking at here to make to contribute for Virtus.pro, and so far so good. They're both making good efforts for their team, and Virtus.pro is on a bit of a comeback here. 5-6 scoreline at this point.
And World Edit this time opens it up, so it's Neo down early. They need to take advantage of these early picks if they want to control the map and try and force out the defense. This pulls Pasha back a little bit into the CT connector. Bombs grouping on A though, so this is actually good from VP because they're going to have a strong defense there. Still 3 men. As FlipSid want to try and penetrate forward. But so far only single penetration because they're putting everyone out toward A long. Taz is up close on the bottom of mid. They're going to go right past him from danger, but he hears them. He's turned it back, so he falls back deeper. He'll wait for them to come around the corner. They're not. Simple wants to go back up. Blade Bondic already on the corner looking for the shot, but no one's there. There's no one on that immediate doorway connector. It's actually Pasha in behind the van. He'll use it to his own disguise and try and come back out. Snacks is in the backside as well, holding stationary on the opposing side of the bomb wall. So if they come in, he might be able to get the cross shot, but that's not going to matter at all because Pasha's already down, and Blade's found him, so they can't hide in any positions. Taz still unsighted, though, does have the retake position coming up from middle. Avoids that first top shot from behind, but World Edit won't miss twice, and he'll fall. So FlipSid now have 7 on the attack.
Yep, and the money situation for Virtus.pro right now looking pretty grim at this point. Only Slacks with a reasonable bank going into this 13th round. Seems like we're gonna have Virtus on a save here. Yep, they are. I think that's the best bet they had at this point as well. I mean, I know they're comfortable with probably with the situation. They know they can rack up a lot of rounds on T side though, so they're not gonna be too worried here at this point yet.
Well, they've got to at least hold strong because they are back to these pistols. 457's CZ75 to join. That's for Taz. Snack's already taking a little bit of damage early on. He's got a little bit more money based on those op kills he has gotten, so he's got chest armor. Neo goes forward, tries to do some damage early on, but they've already spotted him, forced him back into hiding, and he'll wrap around the corner, use these hay bales, but this is predictable at this point. At least there's a crossfire for him. As Taz has walked up and they get the kill as a result, they're going to get more. Neo's pushed out, Simple drops, so they've evened the situation back up. Markelov's on 2 HP. There's a chance for them to bring it right back to a 2-on-2.
Markelov is getting a lot of information. He knows the B side is clear at this point.
And Blade's actually going to go right through A and use the connector. They'll wrap back toward B because they don't want to plant and have to worry about close VP players. And Taz has actually gotten World Edit now because they've secured these rifles. Neo has the op. Taz has the AK. Neo's going to go from the tunnels. Taz going to come directly from CT.
Markelov with only 2 HP. It's going to be...
I mean, he's got to hit this shot. He has to nail this shot up close. Markelov does. Neo's down. That's big. His job's done. Now he just has to bait out for Blade and allow him to play the bomb timer. He'll flash it over, or does he? No, they're actually just going to fall back. Taz is buying himself some time. He's going to go for the smoke. Doesn't hold the defuse right away, though. He wants this first kill. He could have been on this because they didn't fire into it. Although he's got no kit, so he wouldn't have had the time. Doesn't care. He gets both kills, but unfortunately, that's the key. No kit. He'll run away and hide, and that means FlipSid have 8, despite the best efforts and best aim from Taz.
Yeah. Well, at least he could spend some money off of FlipSid here and pick it up an op as well. So that's money in the bank for Virtus.pro. This round here is gonna be big in terms of it's almost gonna be worth 2 because both of these teams are really low on their bank. They're fully investing on this one. So whoever wins this one here is gonna be favored in the last round of the half as well.
Yeah, that's a big aspect to it. And again, we're going to see it. A heavy B presence right now from FlipSid. Simple's going to lead the charge. Smoke already out to cover off that connector, but he's going to push through it. Bialy's waiting here with the FAMAS. And as we can see, Pasha's on the hut. They're trying to put the attention onto him, and they'll just drop through. Blade's up close, or pardon me, Bialy's up close, so an easy kill for him. Swaps over to the AK. Taz gets the kill on Bondic, but there it is. A second for Bialy. A Simple drops down, and it's all left to Markelov and World Edit. Pasha has already left the round, departed early, but this gives a bit of a chance to FlipSid. Markelov brings it back one more, catches Taz, tagged up as he tries to come around the other side, and Bialy is waiting on that angle. So early damage dealt by Neo, and the kill picked up. A hat trick for Bialy, and he might get the 4th, indeed does. World Edit can't do anything up close with the op, and now VP's got 6.
Yep.
Will they make this even, though? Will they get the 7th? They're going to go to the double op. It worked well for them early on because Snacks was strong with it. He's going to have to do the exact same thing, but they're up against pistols. That's the advantage.
Yep, they're going to be looking at a Tech 9 train coming in their way. And, yeah, just Bialy and Taz, the two guys who just held their 4th in B and made it seem pretty easy for Virtus.pro on that straight-up push from FlipSid. Now we see FlipSid working that B, would just roll it in here, making a bit of a distraction in the middle. Makes it work, though, getting a pick on Taz.
So it makes it work. Indeed, that's the big thing, and I've got the M4 now because of it.
That's causing a bit of a rotation from Virtus.pro here.
Neo's actually going to rotate heavily inside bottom mid. He won't push through this smoke. If he did, he'd realize there's no one there. Might get an early chance to flank around onto this B site because they're trying to come in from all angles right now. Pasha's aware of it, turns back his attention onto World Edit, and then back the other way, gets Bondic as well, but Blade's too quickly on his back, and that means he drops down, but Bialy and Snacks compensate for it. A kill apiece, simple with just the Tech 9 left. No rifle, can't sustain one, and does get the shot on Bialy with it, doesn't matter. Snacks going to hold strong, and the op for him this half has been a massive part of VP's success because without him, they don't pick up 3 rounds. Easily 3 rounds that would have gone the other way without him.
Yeah, definitely. And Pasha, that last round, with the pressure he was facing, just hit those 2 shots that were really crucial. It could have been totally the other way around on that last round unless Pasha really hit those shots under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, Pasha, definitely, you're right. But again, for me, Snacks was very impressive with that op. So double op setup worked well for them. Defensive ops. FlipSid, though, do win out the half score-wise. And again, T-side for FlipSide's been strong. That means they only get 8. It was a comeback from something like, I think it was almost 11-4 when they played against Mouse Sports. I'd have to look back at the score, the halftime score. So VP still has a great chance in this. Of course, both teams do like the map. Question is, who's got the better T-side? Because FlipSid looks strong. I'll give them credit. They got a lot of early kills, and they did actually force Taz to rotate a lot from that mid spot, but how's VP going to play it? Are they going to be more strategical like Fnatic, where they set 4 up and just have 1 to fake and then come in with force? It's yet to be seen.
Yeah, it is. And FlipSid had a good start to it, but then I think Virtus.pro, like I said, they had a bit of a slow start, and they started to understand the way FlipSid was playing their T-side. I think Virtus.pro really, they changed their play style a bit there. And that paid dividends there. And picking up that 7 rounds, it could have been a lot worse for them as well, because FlipSid really had that going for them in the early rounds.
And that's a big thing. It seems like every team who wins a LAN just take a deep breath, and the next game they play online is always a bit of a slow start.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize these guys probably traveled home last night from Copenhagen.
Yeah, I don't actually know when their flight was. I'd have to ask. Both teams would have traveled, keep in mind.
True.
But I think FlipSid traveled. Today's the 7th. No, tomorrow's the 7th. So FlipSid would have traveled today.
Had they?
Yeah, I think FlipSid traveled today. I could be wrong on that, but I think FlipSid actually traveled today.
Yeah. So both teams been traveling. So, I mean, it really depends on the individuals, obviously. How does that affect you? If it does or if it doesn't. So, we'll see. We'll see how it pans out.
Well, second half is just awaiting the start. There is a slight delay, but we'll get there in the end. And we'll see how map 1's going to go. Remember, we do have to see this map. In my opinion, we have to see this map go to FlipSid if we're going to get 3. I still think Nuke favors VP. It's up to them to lose it. In fact, I would say that's entirely dictated by how which VP shows up. If they're going to be the Rock that we always see, the Plow, it doesn't even need to be the Plow, I guess. They don't even need to get the Plow rolling. They just need to get consistent rounds. And I think there'll be a real struggle for FlipSid. But if we go to Inferno, then we've got a real proper series on our hand, because FlipSid can definitely play that map to their best of abilities as well.
Oh, you mean Nuke, right?
No, I'm saying if we go to Inferno, if we get past, if this goes to if this map here goes to FlipSid, then the third map becomes all important, because without this, I think VP can actually wrap it up in 2.
They can, and like we've been pointing out, Virtus.pro has a strong T-side on Cobblestone, so definitely don't write them off at this point. I think they have a really good chance of taking this map home, definitely.
Well, Simple again contributes the first frag in the second half pistol this time. Remember, they won the first half. So Taz comes back immediately. That's strong. World Edit, though, will catch out Pasha through that smoke, but the bomb plant's already going down. Taz putting it in place. Bondic, though, coming up from bottom mid. He's got this big flank working out for him, but they've already spotted him. He doesn't get the first kill. Now he does. Neo drops, and the retake's going to favor onto FlipSid here as Bialy, though, evens it right back up. They're stacked on the bomb. Markelov's going to catch them. Nice 2 kills for him.
Nice play from Markelov. He just walked in there, and Taz, who was the first guy who died, had no clue he was walking past there. And the fact that Markelov only with 11 HP also getting those both kills, Just again a great show of experience kicking in when you're just taking that situation as easy as Markelov was.
And that means 2 pistols have now gone to FlipSid. So again, statistically, it's their map to win.
But Virtus.pro, they made it happen last weekend as well. So it's going to be interesting to see here how they manage a similar situation against a different team.
And you got to wonder if that's something that they need to address, if they need to get their pistol rounds
more
on point, because how much easier would the job be with those pistols in their hand? How much quicker could they have disposed of TSM in that upper bracket?
Definitely.
I mean, you got to think about the small things like that. Anything you can do to make your job easier is definitely worth investing some practice into. So we'll see FlipSid fan out across the map. 3 SMGs out. One of them's a P90, so not a huge amount of money bonus, but Simple's already starting off well. He's gone for this M4, and he's also going to get the USP kill. The young man is absolutely on fire in this match, and there's a 4th. Huge range from that headshot, and holding strong at A. No kills go the way of VP. That means money's starting to build for FlipSid already.
Yeah, when Simple gets that self-confidence going, he's just going to run around and do whatever he wants, it seems like. And that was one of the another showcase of that. He just didn't care. He ran out of bullets on the M4. Just got his USP and got the kills on Neo and another guy in the end there. And yep, 7-10. FlipSid on the driver's seat to begin with, but Virtus here on the 3rd round bye. Let's see what they will be able to do here. It's an early kill.
Already gets the start for them, so now they know they've got rifles as well. Although it should have been predicted based on that bomb plant. Nonetheless, man advantage for VP. And it's a heavy B presence right now from FlipSid, so they'll play for a backside rotate, a late call to A, and that's exactly what VP's playing for. Taz just wants to hold him in place with these late smokes. Markelov does sit down below in the corner. Blade tries to peek away. Simple's going to be the one to go over and find out the information that they are home at A.
Yeah, and Simple's going to be late here for the party because we already have
and Pasha snuck behind him.
Yep.
Pasha heard him go. Pasha gets there and he just waits, waiting to get the right shot. There it is. Neo thought he could get the kill, but Pasha says, I'll put the last bullet into him. Nonetheless, Bondic will fire away with that P90. Taz drops to him, but they've got this A site. Neo's going to plant it down, and they're already setting up because they don't have to worry about protecting the bomb planter. They can just get into position, and that means Neo can hold off on the top side of the Sermon spot. Pasha's down below it. Bialy's watching the flank, and Snacks is waiting in the corner from the A-long angle if they try to come through the doorway, but they're not going to do it. They're falling off right now on FlipSid.
That's the right call, too. It's an impossible retake at this point. They're too spread out. The bomb is sticking too much already, so not much for them to do. But yeah, that over-rotation from FlipSid really caught him up there. And Simple left A site way too early. They had no information on. They just had the information of that they spotted people early towards B. Don't think that's a reason enough to be rotating everyone out of the A site though. And yeah, I think they're going to be more cautious with their rotations later on, and that could work in Virtus.pro's favor as well. They can use the mind game on their as their advantage. See how they work it out.
So 3rd round bye pays off for VP. Gets them back into this a little bit sooner, prevents FlipSid from getting that 11th round, and like you say, mind games might start to come into it based on that doubling back over toward the A site. But they do still have rifles to work with on FlipSid's roster right now because they did save up those rifles. They'll grab the op here for Simple. He's actually playing on A solo right now because Blade's rotated off early based on these smokes that have come out at B, and Bialy's going to enter in. That's World Edit to go down. They'll try and flash the rest of the way through, but Bondic counter flashes. That blinds out 3 of them. We can see that they're just sitting stationary waiting for their vision to come back. So it's all on Mr. Bialy and Taz to come around the backside and hold them off. So the retake's going to be strong. Oh, look at Pasha. Completely behind them. No one knows he's there, and they line up. It's a huge kill. Pasha! Oh my goodness, the smarts from him. Bondic finally puts him down. If he had got all 4, there would have been no words for how clever that was. And again, that's the 2nd round we've seen him just get information and sit stationary.
Sometimes that's all it takes, really. You don't really need to do that much. Just walk up and get some free kills on you.
They thought they had so much time to set up for that retake, and my friends, you did not. Pasha was there. Bondic gets the last kill for FlipSid before he expires, and the bomb will go off, but nonetheless, the round had already gone the way of VP. So 1 round the difference.
Yeah. Bit of a weird play from FlipSid's setup on towards B. They were playing a half retake there. They were sort of in B, but really not. And as we see here, Pasha
look at this.
Just playing with them.
They just walked backwards into him.
Yeah. But yeah, World Edit was the only one there backside. They had no presence close to that A B long. I think you need to have at least one guy there putting that pressure on and have the presence, because that's just going to give you a free entry as a T if you're playing that far back. And they didn't make that retake work out at all. A lot of it thanks to Pash's flag, obviously.
Massive play from him. Taz this time will get the start. World Edit goes down early.
Same round from FlipSid going on here.
And inside the smoke, we see Markelov just waiting for them to drop and cross. He spots up Taz first, gets the shot. Actually, got the complete jump on Taz. He didn't even have time to react. Snacks will respond. There's two from him. Great peeks out. Never mind that slow off speed. He does get the shots regardless. BO3 contributes to Markelov, and Snacks has another hat trick. So 3 rounds from him that we've seen the op get him 3 kills, and now we've got a tie game.
Yeah, we do. And another buy from FlipSid here. Snacks so far, we gotta really point him out here. He's been doing a lot of work for Virtus.pro here, both sides, and yeah, just clean playing from him. 10-10 scoreline here. It's going to be a big round in terms of how is this map going to be ending up with. Are we gonna have a Virtus.pro coming out on top or FlipSid?
So Markelov goes over toward B. World Edit, Bondic is. Well, they're going to join him, but Blade's pushed up, and he's actually found Taz early. Now he just needs to fall back. Pop flashes out, tries to do some damage because he knows he wasn't alone. But smartly doesn't go for the full repeat. This gives them time to fall back and cover him off. It's Markelov to get there first, but he's caught. Snacks gets him with the op again. Great game from him both halves all night long so far, but BO3's going to come in. They are going to try and use this flash over top of the wall. That slows them down a little bit because it caught 2 of the VP players. So gives World Edit an angle. What a shot onto BO3. That's your first. And they do have Blade and Simple inside the A platform. Neo's going to at least take down Blade. This makes it a little bit easier for them to try and push through, but Bondic's going to come around eventually. He's a little bit slow on his rotate right now. I think he thinks someone's still toward drop. That drops the bomb. This will bring him over. Simple gets that shot on Neo. This changes everything. Now FlipSid have a chance to control the round. They just need to be smart and not overcommit to their peaks as Snacks is trying to wait and catch one of them out. He does. Simple drops, but he did get Pasha right before that, so it brings it back down to only Snacks in a 1-on-2. And look how high above the world he is on top of the van. If they spot him out right now, it's an easy shot, but fortunately for him, they aren't going to spot him quite so easily. He's picked up the AK as well as the bomb, but no one's peeking. They're waiting this out. 17 seconds. He can't try and do anything fancy and use time to his advantage. He's just got to go to the site and plan it. They'll hear him do so. Bondic now will try and work his way in. Fire goes out. That holds Snacks to the right side, but he's going to go for this peek regardless. Doesn't matter. Bondic gets it. Great shot from him. And now they'll get the defuse, and they'll continue on in the lead just by 1, but it's important.
Yeah, the early killing down in middle, I believe it was Blade who got it, was one of the key factors. I think he may have spotted the bomb, which initiated the fast rotation from FlipSid early on. They still had Bondic towards B late in the round, but that's just due to the fact that what happened early on in this map where Simple over-rotated from A and the bomb actually went on A without him being there at all. So just a good play from FlipSid there.
Yeah, and Simple getting that kill on the bomb carrier when he came around the back side of the bank truck. That was big.
Yep.
Because that let them just hold station and control the round. Like I said, they could just sit back and hold on to all the angles. Came close in the end. Snacks made a best effort. Great effort indeed. Still got the bomb down. That gives money to VP.
Yet again, we'll see. FlipSid not wanting to commit towards that B hallway at all. They're just playing the side all the way back from a B site.
Smoke's going to go out on both drop and the connecting point at B, so this will slow them down, but they're already through it. Pasha's already fallen. BO3, though, does have that angle held well, holds with the AK and gets the shot. Neo's waiting to come through. That flash slows him down, but he trades out. Actually, not even a trade. Markelov didn't hit the shot. I thought BO3 would surely drop to him because he had the jump on him, and now Neo's going to contribute with one more Blade to drop, and Snacks will get Simple, so now that leaves poor old Bondic all by his lonesome, and we are knotted up again. 11-11, make a wish.
Yeah, Markelov's just over committed to going on that platform down B long. He jumped in and tried to get over aggressive, and that cost a lot for FlipSid. I felt like he should have just stayed stationary at his position that he was before. He could have been a key factor in FlipSid getting that round. Now FlipSid is on an eco again, and Virtus.pro is likely going to be taking the lead here and be on a very favorable situation here on Cobblestone.
Nade goes out. Slight damage dealt onto Blade. Of course, this is a B stack. Bondic's not directly in B, but in the connector no less. So close by. In fact, he might try and make himself
Yeah, right now, not a lot of information for neither team really on which side it's going to be for the attack. Seems like we're going to have Virtus.pro here committing to that B site any second now.
Yeah, and they already have. Kaz already finds the entries. Markelov the second to which to drop, make it 3. Bondic goes down. He gets smoked off in the window, so tried to come from the reverse side. Won't matter, but look at World Edit. How does he do that? How does he get in with Taz? That pop flash held him blind for so long. But unfortunately, he's all by himself, and that means it's quickly turned back upon, and VP now have the lead late. Terrorist side, but
yep, and
momentum and the lead.
FlipSid is going to be going on a force buy here, and they're going to be whipping out those FAMASes. No snipers for any of them. So they are feeling the pressure at this point. Virtus.pro is up 12-11. They're going for the force buy. They still have a bunch of nades to work with, but this is going to be one of those do or die situations on this map for FlipSid, I believe. It's going to be really hard unless they really pick this right up here.
That's the big thing. Like we say, this is the key to the series for FlipSid. Nade's going to go through. Does do a good amount of damage actually onto Neo.
And again,
or does it? It didn't. It caught the edge of the wall, so I thought it was deep enough. It's not.
Yeah, it seems like FlipSid really likes to rotate people around a lot. World Edit doesn't see anyone here in the hallway, and he's pushed up all the way. That's a lot of information, but the thing he does not know is that he has 3 terrorists right beside that wall on the other side. I think he can hear him, though. So that's going to cause Blade still be committed to the A site.
World Edit's pushed all the way through long A, though. Bialy and Pasha are down below him in bottom mid, but they find him. They see him there, and that's it. So Bialy catches him off. Simple at least gets Pasha, but now it's Snacks to drop down. He'll get the kill, and as we can see, Markelov still waiting in this corner. That nade did go in on him, but he's still there. And they might overlook it. In fact, they do. Taz just walks right in front of him. Markelov gets 2 for it. Simple now comes in. FlipSid have a chance in this round because it's all left to Bialy. Only 15 HP. And Blade's coming back fast as he possibly dare. It won't matter. Simple already finds the kill, and this game cannot possibly. No one gets a 2-round lead. Not allowed. You are going to stay tied all the way to the end.
Back and forth, and that's going to cost some gray hair for both teams. And when it comes to money here, because when it goes back and forth, you're not going to be playing with a lot of money here. But Markelov, if he had a bit of a muck up earlier towards that B side, he was the key for FlipSid there to win that round. Getting those 2 kills on B long was definitely the part of where FlipSid sealed the deal in that round. And here we go, 12-12, fast attack from Virtus.pro.
Bialy gets the advantage on the fast attack. Make it 2 now for VP as Pasha will get World Edit. And they're rushing as fast as they dare over from the B site, try to come back into A and hold out VP. Bondic will at least get Pasha on the cross, but they've gone by. The smokes will hold out both Bondic and Markelov. They're the only 2 left, and Neo will get in and put this bomb down. Nade from Taz will also collect Bondic, so Markelov's running the hide. Just a FAMAS, but he wants to save it.
Yeah, nice change of pace there from Virtus.pro. FlipSid was not ready for that at all whatsoever. And just paying off nicely, Virtus.pro.
And that's a good read because more and more they were sneaking over to B to have a hard presence there. So VP just said, screw it, let's go A.
That's it. And that's what a lot of teams here in Cobblestone always do throughout the time. You're going to have a heavy early B presence from the CTs, and Markelov is actually hiding in the toilet. Maybe.
I love it.
Maybe he had to go.
He might have. That's why he'll be back to clutch next round. Right now, more important issues.
There we go.
The door would be red, actually, by the way. You know that, right? They switched when there's someone in the porta potty, the tab on the door goes to red. So if they walk by and just look, they might have noticed, but no one was even close. So
nice little detail.
He might have been scared as shit, but he still gets to stay alive and save his gun.
All right. FlipSid, their money is going to be horrible at this point. They have 3 people at 1.5K. They are opting to save and let Virtus.pro get to the 14th round possibly. And then they're going to be working with, again, a mixed weaponry.
Well, mixed weaponry, meaning just that from Haas, really, and a couple pistols bought up to support it. Pasha up close, gets the up shot. Markelov walks his way around the corner, and he's too slow to evade that bullet from the rifle, so already a man advantage, and World Edit was rushing on that flank that time. Gets caught out immediately, and it's all going VP's way. They're going to walk into this site easily. The anti-eco, full success so far. Let's not forget Bondic still alive and could wreak havoc, but he won't do it. Snacks will put him down. And now we've got a 2-round lead for the first time in a long time. Someone actually has a bit of a cushion.
Yep, and like I called it out, FlipSid here is going to be having to work without... They don't have an AWP here. They will have 3 pharmacists, limited nades, no head armor. That doesn't really make a huge difference nowadays, though, since you're gonna die from an AK, 1 shot to the head anyway. So head armor is not really that relevant at this point. But really, Virtus.pro definitely looking strong at this point, and they have a huge advantage at this point.
So smoke's off on A long. World Edit can't get around this corner. Blade is at least close up to support, but Snacks, Neo, and Bialy are on the opposing side of it. Markelov, meanwhile, as we can see over at B, slowly falling back into a quicker rotate spot, or is he? I think he's just a little worried someone was up close by that smoke.
Yep. Seems like FlipSid is actually taking a bit of a more cautious approach to how to hold on A. They're actually falling very much back on the site instead of playing up front. Let's see if that works in their favor or not.
So Bondic will cover drop now instead, as Simple has left.
A lot of pressure is going to be on Markelov soon here.
This is working to VP's advantage. They've forced 1 rotator. They've got a way in. Pasha, Bialy just need to keep them busy for slightly longer. That means Markelov needs to hit the shots. He has to hold this with just the FAMAS. If he doesn't get the first kill or drops early, this will be VP's round early, and he does. He goes down. Snacks gets him. At least Simple gets one in return. World Edit still finding frags on A, but let's not forget, that's not where the bomb is. It's already planted on the B site. Bondic hasn't been spotted, though. He'll use that smoke to his advantage because Taz can't find the shot in return to trade him out. So there's only 2 VP players left. Make it 1. They're all dropping down. Neo needs to play this perfectly. He needs to use this bomb completely to his advantage. They know where he is. He gets the first. He's got to be careful not to overcommit on the second. And he does. He actually gets Bondic, but immediately traded. And this means they'll get the defuse, and we'll go back to a 1-round difference.
Yep. And Bondic was there, the guy who just made the difference, hiding in that smoke and getting that first pick, getting that second pick. Those 2 kills were huge in favor of FlipSid to win that round. And... well, they've still got a long way to go, though. Their money situation is still looking pretty horrible. This time, though, they're going to be able to whip out that AWP. Meanwhile, Virtus.pro still got plenty of money to work with, and they're going to be comfortable doing what they feel like. Let's see how they approach this round. They've been mixing it up a bit. We've seen a lot of A-heavy, we've seen a lot of B-heavy, and we've also seen a fast attack coming in. So let's see what their approach is going to be this time.
We're going to see Blade down low on the T side of that mid connection, but going for those shoulder peeks, making sure no one comes through the door and gets ahead of him. It's Pasha that was waiting there. As the bomb is with Bialy, but it's all the way back toward the courtyard. He's got all the options in the world, so this time they're just playing it for picks. Blade's going to get a little more passive, falls back, as does World Edit off a long A. So they won't give away any careless kills onto Virtus.pro, and in fact, they'll put themselves in a position to just call for rotates. So the pick strategy won't work. VP now is going to group as 4 and try and take B.
Yep. FlipSid didn't over-rotate this time. They are still having 3 guys towards B, and that's working in their favor at this point, since the attack is actually just happening and coming towards B.
Pasha's going to wait. I don't think they know he's up close on A, so he'll catch the rotators. Markelov, meanwhile, has found 2 as Neo trades him, but he goes down to the end to Bondic. And there it is. They do find Pasha, so he won't even get your rotators. It leaves Snacks in a 1-on-3. Does have the bomb to work with. And this AK, and oh, what a shot! Simple immediately dropped on the reaction, flick to the left. And now he's inside the site. He looks for more, gets it. World Edit goes down, and this Snacks, this is the best I've seen him play in a very long time. Just raw aim all night long. Unfortunately, it has to end. Called too soon, and Blade gets the kill. No kit, lots of time. We're going back to 14s.
Couldn't get any closer, could it? At this point, Snacks has been playing out of his mind, just not able to clutch that situation where all odds were against him, but he just made it almost happen. That round, Markelov, though, again, playing a big part on it, and getting those 2 kills early in that B attack was one of the fundamental things, and why FlipSid was, or had an opportunity to win that round. It was almost an individual effort from Snacks to turn it around, though, but yeah, Markelov, I want to point him out. He did a good job there with his B defense.
Yeah, excellent 2 kills to start it off.
And now that money's becoming an issue for Virtus.pro here. They're going to be having a decent buy, even though if it went to 15 for FlipSid. Not everything they wanted to. But still, pressure is mounting at this point for both sides. Especially Virtus, since they were up 14-12 at best.
Neo preemptively throws a Molotov into the bottom side of danger, but Blade knows they're there now, so he'll counter it off. Now spam away. Won't call it desperation. We'll just call it early damage. Try to get something to give them a little more of an advantage later in the round, and Blade falls all the way back. He's going to go deep inside the A site to hold.
Yeah. For old Eddie, this is going to have to do a lot of work here for FlipSid, definitely. As it seems like Virtus is changing their pace, and they're coming towards that A site.
There has been a change in pace on the defense as well, though, because it's a lot more passive now for FlipSid.
Definitely. They're just trying to avoid from getting picked apart early on and not giving that early advantage to Virtus.pro. Meanwhile, Taz is here creating a bit of a distraction towards B, while the attack is actually going to be happening towards A. With only 30 seconds left, and over-rotation at this point from FlipSid would be really costly. But it seems like it's actually going to be doing the opposite of Simple, is actually rotating towards A.
We get a little bit of a lag there, but nonetheless, World Edit first shot. Now we're back underway. Snacks fires away. Unfortunately, the fire bounces back on him. That's not as planned. But he'll use this smoke to his advantage, try and find a way in connector and get around behind him. He may just do it, but unfortunately for him, all of his teammates have gone down on the A site. Oh, Snacks so sneaky. The trigger control from him. He gets the first, doesn't stick around for more, just wants to find out everyone else he can, and he does, but he's got the knife out. He gets caught, and Bondic gets him. Not to be, and the time actually expired because Taz stayed alive. He held the AK. The question is, did the time expire before or after Snacks went down? I think it was after, so he still gets money.
He's got plenty of money to work with. And I think, yep, Virtus.pro pretty much gets a full buy here. But just a nice comeback so far from FlipSid. It seemed like Virtus.pro was just going to run away with this at the 14-12 point, but no. FlipSid really just adjusted their defense. They're not getting picked apart early on towards A. And the over-rotations are not happening either, so FlipSid sitting firmly at a really good position to win this map.
Well, it would be huge for them. This is VP's map choice, but again, we said it played to FlipSid as well. And then there's Simple with the double, lining him up by Ali and Pasha. Already dropped. Neo's angry. He picks up the AK, and he's not going to slow down or whiz. He waits for that flash. Well read, because he reads it and dodges it perfectly. That gives him a double, and he is an angry man right now because he's all alone, but he's got 3. He needs an ace to win this, and he won't get it. FlipSid, map 1, 16-14. 8 rounds on their T side, and they hold strong defensively. A good change of pace to go passive because it pays off.
Yeah, it does. And what seemed Virtus.pro was definitely looking like they were going to win that map, but nope. FlipSid they just changed their defense. They just fell back on A. They played it a bit aggressive early on in the round, but then they just fell back all the way down on A site and just made sure that Virtus.pro couldn't get those early picks and work with those and give them the advantage of doing different kind of fakes or pushing aside with less people on.
I mean, credit where credit is due. Pasha did have a good game. Snacks was incredible. I have to say, I thought Snacks looked amazing, but Simple has to be the